T.R.E.E presenta las tocadas de la semana. A ver, Cristian, por favor, danos las tocadas que van a estar saliendo aquí en los Estados Unidos,
Bueno,
en Los
las
Ángeles.
tocadas aquí en Los Ángeles para esta semana se presenta Luz Bell en Los Ángeles. Esta es la gira de Fin del Mundo 2012. Esto se llevará octubre 6, 3916 South Grand Avenue en Los Ángeles. Y también en la Ciudad de México, bueno, en Guadalajara, Jalisco, México, octubre 27, se presenta Anthrax, Overkill, Suicidal Tendencies, Exodus. Y nuestros amigos de Profecía estarán abriendo para este gran evento. Y que les deseamos mucha suerte. Los boletos están disponibles en ticketmaster.com.mx.
Big show for Profecía.
Buen show para Profecía. Y a la misma vez te invitamos a que conozcas a Fernanda Ulibarri promocionando su nuevo álbum, Atoma, y su nuevo single es titulado Canción Animal. La puedes escuchar completamente gratis aquí en nuestra página intorock.com. Es deletreado INTOROQ.com. Pero si estás oyendo el podcast, ya sabes el website, ¿no? También tenemos a nuestro host aquí, mi psychic, Hector.
Me puedes decir Robin si quieres Batman.
No. Robin was too gay, dude. You know.
So you're calling me gay now? All right.
No,
that's why I'm not
calling you Robin.
All right.
You know, plus I was never really into comics, man. You know, se estará presentando acá en el Long Beach
International Marathon, el Maratón Internacional de Long Beach.
Maratón Internacional de Long Beach, que se llevará octubre, domingo 7, que se llevará de las 8 de la mañana hasta la 1:30 de la tarde. Es totalmente gratis.
Si checan nuestro sitio en internet, experimentos56.com, deletreado sin la E, tenemos el flyer y pueden mirar exactamente cómo llegar a donde estamos.
Que quiero también de que nuestros fans conozcan esa una banda de que muy pronto la vamos a tener en nuestro podcast que se llama Wonder Fox. Ellos tendrán su EP release en noviembre 16. Será muy buen evento. Muy pronto vamos a poner los detalles en nuestra página y también diremos el lugar donde se presentarán.
También no se nos va a olvidar nuestros amigos de Roquimera, que van a tener su EP Release Party octubre 12 en el Viper Room a las 8 de la tarde. Si llegan allí a las 9 de la tarde, pueden recibir bebidas gratis se me hace que 15 minutos están anunciando en su Facebook. Entonces le tienen que caer temprano para que no se les acabe el alcohol. Una vez más, visítenlos en el Viper Room en Hollywood, California. Y mucha suerte para Roquimera. Right, y esas son las tocadas para intorock.com. Muchísimas gracias por sintonizar a Talking Rock en Español. Estamos transmitiendo desde la ciudad más feliz del mundo, Anaheim, California. Yo soy su servidor, Héctor Robles, y a mi lado está
Cristian Mejía.
Y vamos a hablar rock en español. ¿Qué hola, gente? Aquí estamos en el estudio de Talking Rock en Español. Bueno, este día, domingo, tenemos a Los Despiertos, un grupo musical es ska, aquí de Los Ángeles, California.
Correcto.
Y bueno, ¿qué preguntas les vamos a hacer? ¿De qué quieres hablar ahora, Cristian?
Creo que una de las cosas de que les vamos a hablar con ellos es acerca de cómo ganaron el evento, el Battle of the Bands, que fue producido por Wrigley's y LATV.
Wrigley's es una compañía de chicles.
Wrigley's, Bubblegum 5 creo que se llama. Y una de las cosas también de que muy importante que admiro a esta banda, lo que ha hecho es los contratos. How they carry themselves.
Bueno, el profesionalismo que tienen estos compas.
El profesionalismo que tienen.
Ya, sí, bien notado que tienen todo escrito y tienen todo muy profesional, man. Sí, se me hace que están en esa dirección muy profesional y un buen ejemplo para el resto de nosotros.
Sí, claro, y a la misma vez como tienen un buen equipo que les está ayudando, amigos, miembros de familia, en promoverlos.
Y hacen muchas de las cosas que nosotros hablamos aquí en el podcast, de todo ese borlote.
Claro.
Bueno, también para la semana que entra, antes de que le sigamos aquí, queremos anunciar que vamos a tener una semana de descanso, nada más para que sepan que vamos a regresar Bueno, ¿cuándo regresamos para atrás? Entonces, después de esa pausa corta,
Octubre 14, ya.
ya
Muy
suficiente de
interesante.
nosotros, ¿no? Vamos a traerlos aquí adentro en el estudio y vamos ahorita con Los Despiertos.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. This is Sunday, September 30th, and today we are going to be talking to Carlos Camacho and Eddie Cardenas
Cárdenas, güey,
from
Cárdenas.
Los Despiertos.
That's right, Los Despiertos.
But
¿Qué onda, guys?
Yeah,
Gracias por estar aquí, man.
That's right.
so, all right, Carlos, just give us a little bit of, a feedback from you. How did you Los Despiertos come up? How did you guys start it? I mean, I saw you guys winning sort of like a battle of the bands for Bubblegum 5, if I...
Yeah. It's,
Y para los que no entienden en inglés, por favor, platícanos un poco de qué está pasando con Los Despiertos.
Sí, es preferible si lo puedes decir en español.
Ok, no hay problema. Eddie, en español, por favor.
Mi español es muy rusty, pero
So I'll take that one.
Pégale,
This is Carlos, by the way. Carlos, mucho gusto. Nos da mucho gusto estar aquí con ustedes. Muchas gracias a usted, Héctor y Cristian, que hacen un servicio a la comunidad, especialmente de la...
No, ni te creas, estamos tratando también nosotros de llegar a la cima de...
Sí, ya
del
sé,
rock.
ya me explicaste, pero de todos modos te quería decir. Los Despiertos empezó por parte de estar en una banda anterior, se llamaba La Infinita. Yo era el cantante por 3 años y lo que noté que había muchos problemas entre la banda. Le tengo mucho respeto a ellos porque son buenos músicos, pero no tenían la forma de pensar business, no tenían esa mentalidad. Y por eso mismo es que empecé Los Despiertos. I'm the founding member of Los Despiertos because of that, and also that too. Tenía el sueño de seguir adelante, to make it mainstream. And the guys had a completely different route that they wanted to take.
¿Qué es lo que ellos tenían? ¿Cuál era la mentalidad?
Pues era como tipo, como que había un rey y él era el único que podía hacer lo que le daba la gana. Y yo escribiendo la música, las palabras, la guitarra, todo eso, no tenía una forma de poder hablar y comunicar que quería no solamente tocar solamente para el LA Ska-core scene, quería seguir adelante y hacerlo mainstream.
Pero la otra banda también era ska.
Era ska-core, ska reggae.
Okay.
Y eso es lo que me dio, les doy muchas gracias a ellos porque ellos son los que me dieron la dirección como artista. Andaba perdido entre el pop y el como reggae y todo eso, no tenía dirección. Y cuando empecé con ellos empezaron a formar lo que soy ahora, y ahora ya soy Carlos C., ese es mi nombre artístico. Y Los Despiertos es el grupo que ahora podemos hacer y expresar lo que se necesita que expresar, que sentimos que no hay en la escena ahorita del rock en español.
Y tu compadre acá, el Cárdenas, a ver, que nos platique un poquito de ti, ¿no?
pues me llamo Eduardo Cárdenas. Soy originalmente de Los Ángeles, Bell Gardens. That's where I grew up. I just have a very deep musical background. So when I joined the band, it was out of desperation for looking for another drummer, and I was looking for another band.
Okay.
And
Were you in the same situation as Carlos was?
It was kind of the same situation with one of the other founding members. So, we couldn't get established, and so he started working with Carlos. And it all came together on their part, but I was like, hey, what about me? I still want to be in a band. So ya se fue con otro grupo, and here I was stuck working in Target. So they called me they called me right before Christmas of 2010. They asked, do you want to try out? We have a couple of shows. And I said, yeah. I did it, and I stayed with the band because I admire everyone in there, and they all have the same dream that I have, which is to make it in the music industry. I'm a musician. I was born to entertain. I'm not going to let anything stop me, and these guys have the same dream.
In your own words, can you define me what it means to make it in the music industry? Are you looking for like the high life, where fame, fortune, all of those kinds of things? Or is it something where you feel comfortable, where I can say, you know what, F my job, I'm doing this full time, and by doing that, you're like, it's a steady, averaging about 30 to 40,000 a year as a paid musician. Is that how you define success? Is that what you're looking for?
In the beginning, when I was a teenager, fame was by far that was number one on my agenda. As I grew older,
Este güey dice la verdad, man. Este güey dice la verdad.
yeah, but you know, growing up, you kind of all these obstacles come into your life. You get a woman. You know, you want to have a baby someday. You want a house. I'm like, well, you know, screw the fame. I need the security. So now that's what I'm about. I want to be able to come home to a house with my family. I want to be able to support for them and do the thing that I want to do, you know, which is play music to entertain people. I want to see the smile and look on everyone's face when I enter a room with my buddies playing music, and I make their day brighten up because of what I do. So the money shouldn't matter. It's the security that I need. That and the love for my craft. That's what I'm about.
Yeah, because I mean, I look back and there hasn't been that many bands, specifically like in the genre of ska, that are, you know, have made it really big. I mean, you have like what's that band that I'm thinking of at this moment? That they were pretty successful.
Chenche Berrinche?
No
doubt.
Is it local or
no, it was
global?
more like a big band. It was an American band, you know.
Real Big Fish.
Yeah, you have like Real Big Fish. Some
They
of
got
them.
Fishbone. but
Fishbone.
They have their own story. And
Yeah,
their own
actually,
documentary
Fishbone-
of how they really
Yeah,
kind of just kept it together. It's a really good documentary.
Yeah, it's really. I still haven't had the opportunity to see it, and some of those guys went to the school I graduated from.
Awesome.
Yeah, and the mighty Bosstones, I believe.
Oh, the Mighty
I,
Bosstones.
yeah, I think that was like the biggest ska has ever gone, right?
Well, you got No Doubt,
which now, well, yeah, true, no
You got
doubt.
No
Which
Doubt.
Pero
now,
no da como que esos se fueron más al pop, ¿no? Especialmente con la
Con la
muchachona
Gwen,
que,
yeah.
que se fue y estaba...
Sí.
I mean, si escuchas a No Doubt ahorita,
Ajá.
it's pop, dude. Eso
Ah,
no
pero
es ska, you know?
Todavía mi respeto a ellos, man, porque ellos hicieron exactamente lo que se debe de hacer. Un artista debe de crecer, no debe de quedarse en el mismo lugar. Cuando se quedan en el mismo lugar, están muy cómodos y no van a seguir creciendo.
Tienes razón.
So I might not like Gwen Stefani's side project when her really pop-ish, hip-hop-ish kind of stuff with the little Japanese girls. You know, it's
A mí me
strange.
gustaron las japonesitas.
That's the only good part, I guess. But my girl's here, so I'm not gonna say anything. But I love you, baby. But you know,
I'll say it for you, dude. I mean, Japanese are pretty fun. Been there myself.
All right, good. But see, she did exactly what she needed to do to keep herself relevant. If everybody who's in any type of music, whether it be rock en español, heavy metal, lo que sea, no importa. Todos queremos llegar a un cierto nivel y queremos seguir creciendo más y más y más. Y no podemos hacer eso si los quedamos cerrados. If we put ourselves in a box and don't come out of it, just like you guys been saying, you guys won't ever achieve. There's no way you guys can achieve like the biggest, because there's always room. It's always a progress. What is it I always say?
It's a work in progress.
It's always a work in progress, and that's the way we need to take it.
Yeah, claro, porque en muchas circunstancias es haz lo que tú necesitas hacer y hazlo, you know, just be happy with everything that you do. Mm-hmm. And eventually, like, in order to be very successful to get to the top, I think it'll come. You know, you start developing, like, you know, better shows, better performance, everything around.
Una de las líneas que me gusta está medio raro, pero me gusta mucho el rap a mí, porque pues escuchaba mucho como a Too Short, Eazy-E y a muchos de esos artistas, y estaba mirando la película de Biggie Smalls, y una de las cosas que le dijo el Puff Daddy a Biggie Smalls en la película le dijo que parara de seguir el dinero y que siguiera siguiendo el sueño, y que así llega el dinero. Entonces se me hace muy importante así que se están quedando ustedes con el amor de la música, y luego se siente, man, cuando hablas con ustedes, que tienen ese amor a la música. Se me hace que eso es lo más importante, y el dinero y la fama va a llegar a su tiempo.
Bien dicho, bien dicho.
Una cosita nada más que quería preguntarles a ustedes acerca de que ganaron esa cosa de un chicle, o ¿qué ganaron? A ver, platíquenos un poco de eso.
Lo que pasó es de que yo fui a había una audición en el T.R.E.E. Theater hace el 2010 y
Fue en el
para el
ok.
Five Gum. Y la verdad,
Disculpa la interrupción, ¿qué es Five Gum?
Five Gum es el chicle Five, Wrigley's Gum.
Oh, de veras sí es
Oh,
el
it
chicle.
is
Yo
Wrigley's.
Five, yeah, yeah,
Okay,
it's
so
five gum.
it is Wrigley's.
Okay,
then.
yo
is
pensaba
Wrigley,
nada más
okay.
que era como...
I wasn't sure. That's why they didn't want to announce it. But I mean, I remember just
Yeah.
five.
Yeah,
Just
it
the
was
number
Five
five.
Gum,
Okay.
yeah. Well, lo que pasó es de que yo fui a una audición y I remember asking my band members at that time, the members that were there, I asked them, hey, this is opportunity. We need to go try out. And some of the guys they were busy. They had stuff to do. And I said, I cannot miss this opportunity. Algo me dijo. Something within me told me, you need to go, no matter what. So lo que hice es, tuve que cancelar mi trabajo ese día. Tuve que llevarme el bus porque no tenía carro. Me lo llevé desde East LA hasta Wilshire, en quién sabe dónde, ni me recuerdo, porque está ahí el Ray Theater. Llegué y ni siquiera andaba yo en la lista. No me tenían en la lista para audicionar. Y pues como yo fui con mi guitarra solamente y no tenía un grupo.
Espérate, ¿tú dijiste de que te fuiste en el bus o
Me
tú
fui en el
manejaste
bus.
tu propio bus y te fuiste?
Yo manejaba buses en ese tiempo. I'm a bus chauffeur, I'm a bus driver, but I actually had no transportation at the time.
Okay.
So me tuve que llevar el bus, pienso que es 710. No, es el freeway, ¿no? El 720 es el Rapid en East LA.
Okay.
Que te llevas para Santa Mónica. Anyways, I went there. I literally, they put me on first and said, look, let's go. Try it out. I stayed there the whole night till like 12 midnight. And somehow I ended up making a connection with one of the most important people at LATV. And I had no clue the whole time. She saw my hunger. She saw my passion. She saw that I was there from the beginning to end. And honestly, I was there just because they were raffling a Guitar Center
Bubblegum?
card. No, bubblegum. They were raffling a $500 Guitar Center gift card. And I was like, and I had so many tickets, and I was a number away from winning. But just because of that, and knowing that I wanted to be there, it pushed me. And it showed, it shined through. Her name is Ms. Rodriguez, and she's currently working at LATV still. And she does Latin Nation and American Latino. And she just so happened to have bumped into the executive producer of LATV and said, you need to check these guys out. And that she opened that crack. Ella abrió la puerta un poquito.
So, ¿cómo es de que LATV estaba envuelto en esto? Porque parece de que Wrigley's es como que sí está haciendo algo muy bueno como para la juventud de buscando nuevo talento.
¿Esto era
esa es
solamente
la
en
impresión.
español o en inglés también?
Era los dos. Era mixture, era mezclado. So era Spanglish. Y eso es lo que Wrigley's quería. Por eso ellos hicieron el contrato con LATV.
Oh, okay,
y ellos dos involucrados hicieron el primero. Ya tenía 3 años con ese año. It was 3 years already in involvement with LATV, Five Gum. And what they did on the last year, which was the year we made it through, was first time they did a reality show out of it. So we were part of the first reality show of the venture with Five Gum and LATV together. And like I said, she opened up that crack for us, that little opening,
that door.
We at that point in time, we had to carry ourselves from then on, and you could see it in the challenges they gave us. They gave us an hour to write 2 songs. They gave us an hour each, and it was Mr. What's his name?
A.B.
A.B. Quintanilla was one of the judges, and which is Selena's brother. It was cool to get to see him and all that stuff, and have him involved in all that stuff. He was really mean sometimes. Just getting to know. Sometimes meeting your idols aren't all that it's cut out to be. So I'll leave it at that. But as far as that, it just
It becomes very stressful, man.
Huh?
It becomes very stressful sometimes.
Yeah, of course.
And it's one of those things where it's so repetitive that it just becomes like, whatever, let's go.
What are you talking about, fool?
Well, meeting your
idols.
Your idols.
Okay.
Sometimes they just kind of forget because they're so involved in their work.
Yeah, but I mean, en el mismo tiempo también está bien porque te dicen la neta, man, te dicen la verdad y no... Se me hace que muchos de los problemas con nosotros como músicos es que estamos alrededor de nuestras familias y nuestros amigos y todos te quieren mirar sobresalir y te dicen, sí, man, estás haciendo lo correcto, pero en la realidad necesitas a alguien como Cristian que te diga, ¿sabes qué, güey? Como que no, man, te hace falta esto en el escenario y necesitas que arreglar esto. Estás muy gordo, güey, a correr tantito. Pero te dice la neta, man, y en veces eso es lo que necesitas, you know? So, hasta cierto punto está bien. Ya sé que te agüitas un poco porque es uno de los ídolos o es alguien que
Sí.
tú mirabas como
Selena.
muy buena gente, pero se me hace que también están haciendo, disculpa la palabra, medios mamones, pero por tu bienestar tuyo.
Sí.
you know, so.
Sí, cómo no. Aparte de eso, llegamos a los finales, ganando los dos retos que teníamos, lo ganamos los dos y los pasamos a los finales. Y ahí tocamos con Belanova en frente de Leila Cobo.
Holy shit.
Leila Cobo is a big time Billboard magazine, both Latino and regular Billboard. We had Belanova as judges. We had Eve Quintanilla. We had Belanova. Well, I keep saying Belanova. But anyways, no pasamos adelante. No lo ganamos, pero lo que ganamos era el respeto del executive producer, el productor ejecutivo de la TV. Y de eso él nos dio la oportunidad de poder filmar nuestro propio en concierto special with LATV.
Wow, that's impressive,
Which
dude.
Very impressive.
some of the bands that have been in Café Tacuba have had their own en concierto special. There's been a lot of other LA bands that are like just gigantic that have had that opportunity. So it was definitely an honor for us to be
¿Esa
there.
fue la tocada donde estaban ustedes tocando la de la bamba?
Sí,
Oh, ok.
that's the one.
Yeah,
Yeah, la
se
bamba.
miraba bien claro todo el video, bien chido, man.
Sí, invirtieron mucho dinero. Mucha gente dice, ¿cuánto dinero les pagaron? Y eso es una cosa que siempre me están preguntando desde que hicimos eso. Y yo nomás les digo, ¿sabes qué? No nos pagaron nada. ¿Cómo que no te pagaron nada? ¿Cómo puede ser? No lo puedes regalar lo que estás haciendo. Pero les dije, ahí es cuando yo tenía el momento y les dije, ¿cuántas oportunidades van a salir donde ellos van a invertir hasta más de $30,000? Todo, the cameraman, the soundman, the lights, the stage, the production value is worth more than $30,000.
Sí se mira
easy.
Oh, y
eso lo
eso-
puedes usar para promoverte tú en tus otras tocadas y se mira bien profesional. Te voy a decir la neta que lo miré and I'm like, fuck, these guys are somebody. Y eso es lo que quieres hacer cuando la gente mire tus videos así, digan, ¿quiénes son estos compas que
Sí.
están tocando escenarios profesionales?
Sí. Mira, había un punto donde andábamos filmando cuando ganamos el segundo reto, que estábamos ahí desde las 10 de la mañana y el día anterior andábamos ahí todo el día. Y después a las 10 de la mañana hasta las 4 de la mañana andábamos filmando. Los retos con los jueces, finalmente los dijeron que ganamos el segundo reto como a las 2 de la mañana. Y cuando ganamos teníamos un film shoot de ese momento hasta las 4 de la mañana que tuvimos que cumplir. Era como un premio por ganar. Andábamos rete cansados, brother. We were so tired. And I remember they made us do the songs like 4 to 10 times each full length. And,
¿Y por qué fue el motivo que hicieron eso?
Es porque pues es production value. Tienen que hacerlo todo en un momento. Así es TV.
Yeah,
Se van a
basically
dar
get the
cuenta
best
que
footage.
televisión trabaja.
Get the best footage they can.
Ajá.
They're trying to break you, weren't they?
Y no andaban tratando de quebrarme, pero si no, a ese momento yo andaba, cuando miraba todas las cámaras, miraba a toda la gente que estaba involucrada atrás del escenario, y dije en ese momento cuando ya andaba llorando, gritando en mi mente, no puedo aguantar, ya basta, ya estoy cansado de esto. Porque solamente tenía que entrar al trabajo a las 5 de la mañana, nomás tenía 1 hora desde que paramos a trabajar. Yo andaba harto y dije, ese es el momento cuando me dio un epiphany, cuando me dio ese momento de claridad. Y me dije, esto es lo que todo es lo que está pasando ahorita, es por todo el trabajo duro que ha hecho desde que tenía el sueño este. Ahora que ya tengo el momento, I'm in the limelight. I have to own it. This is the moment I've been waiting for. This is what I worked so hard. I've cried. I've sacrificed my family. I've sacrificed a lot of things, and I'm finally here.
And
at
it
this
showed,
moment.
man. It showed on the video, dude. It showed that
Thank
you
you,
guys
brother.
were really kicking ass on
Muchas
there.
gracias. Thank you.
So.
Yeah, but you get to that moment, do not bitch. You worked that hard to get there, worked through it. I went to work an hour later, and I was like half awake driving my bus, but I made it happen. And that's the kind of drive and passion. You're not going to get paid for it for a long time. If you do get maybe $100, $200, $300 measly dollars, invest it in your band. Just re-get it and invest it. You gotta keep moving forward. Nobody's gonna give you a record deal for $100,000, not even $20 nowadays, dude. So it's like you gotta make it happen.
Even if you do get a record deal, they're pretty bad right now, man. It's like it's some crazy 360 shit that you're like, I don't know if I want to take that, you know.
Better off just independent, and that's where we're at. Of course, distribution deals are where it's at. If you have the pull to get a distribution deal, that's what really you want. You want to be able to retain all your publishing. You want to be able to retain all your ownership rights. All you want to be able to relinquish is a percentage for a distribution deal with Universal, which is one of the top distributors out there right now. And those are pretty much the guys that you want to go with. You got a Sony, you got all kinds of people. But then again, too, like I was hearing, the guy from Galleta 3D, estaba diciendo que va a haber 1,000,000 ofertas. There's going to be thousands of offers left and right. It's really what you want to do with it and how you want to spread yourself. Don't spread yourself too thin. There's only so much you can do. And I take that to heart when it comes to that. I mean, we're not all in that position. I'm not going to say that Sony right now is on us. We got Capitol. We got all these like record deals coming at us. Pero si llega un momento, cuando llegue esa oportunidad, tenemos que verlo completamente.
Tienes que evaluar. Tienes que evaluar el contrato.
And I go back to kind of rap stuff real quick. MC Hammer, I believe, had an offer where I want to say Capitol Records offered him all these millions of dollars. And when he read the contract stuff and everything, he broke it down. He's like, dude, I'm making more selling CDs out of the trunk of my car right now than if I were to take that contract from these guys. So you got to be really smart when you look at those contracts, because I think a lot of people get really excited because they're like, wow, this company that has money is ready to invest in me. Like, I've made it. And I think that as bands, what you got to really think of is, like, if you do get signed, I guess, you kind of have to see it like boxing maybe a little bit. Like, you're getting a championship fight. You got to work even harder now, bro, because you're going to be fighting a champ. You're not going to be fighting, taxi
You're fighting
drivers.
a bully, dude.
Really good point, because I have a friend her name is Celeste Prince, and she kind of put me under her wing when she was picked up by Capitol Records. And she kind of just told me, the hardest day that you'll ever work is the time when you sign your first record deal.
And you're still not even going to make enough of it.
You don't know, she goes, you don't know how hard it is until you have a record deal. You got to work like you've never worked in your life. And that is what it is. You got 4 a.m. wake-up calls, and you got radio station promotion people, record labels. You got so many things throughout the whole day, and then you got a show that night, and then you got to do it all again with about 2 to 3 hours of sleep. We got to prepare ourselves as musicians. If we want to get to that point where Manaes and Jaguares and all these other bands, we got to start taking ourselves seriously enough and discipline ourselves to the point where we know we can handle that later on. If we can handle it now when we don't have that stress, later on, we're going to be in tip-top condition. Nothing will break us. And that's what it's all about. That's why we ended up doing an agreement, which is what I want to talk about.
I want to talk about this.
Yeah, we are going to talk
about
that.
Course, we developed an agreement, but again,
that's what you call a band partnership contract.
Exactly, and it really was just to condition us, because unfortunately, when nothing's written on paper, everybody thinks it's a free for all, and they can do whatever they please when they please. Nobody told me. I don't know. It's like no, that's not an excuse.
You know written. What? I got to tell you something. I actually sat down and I read that contract.
Is that the original? Is that the original, or is that just like a rough draft?
That was the latest one. That was actually the updated one.
Okay, well,
and we still gotta update it because we just added a member to it. Danny, shout out to you, brother. New band member, guitar player. Shout out to Memo again, my guitar player. Memo, my brother. We got Shaggy, who was our bass player that couldn't make it today. And who else are we missing? You?
Your cousin Manny.
My cousin Manny, who's a keyboardist. So I just want to say that.
Check this out, man.
Yeah. What you got? What you got?
Yeah, I think Hector has he's got a lot to say on this.
All right, let's go.
So,
y no es malo porque, okay, I know that you as the leader of the band, the founding member, you have to protect your assets, you have to protect yourself. Mm-hmm. However, I was reading some parts in the contract where it says that if you take off from the band retains the rights of the work you've done in the band. And I'm just going to be completely blunt and honest. I would never sign that contract, dude. And this is another thing too, like, I guess there's so many protections that the law actually gives you as an artist that you're like, well, by me signing this contract, I'm actually giving up all the rights that I have through the regular U.S. law. So that's the reason I wouldn't sign that contract. The other thing too that I saw on there was it was a very unilateral contract, I guess you could say. And going back to, I'm sure you had a lawyer set it up for your protection.
No, it was my own team, my lady over there who's
somebody who's got some brains. It was for your
course,
protection, and I guess I ran into some similar situations with other contracts for movies because one of our songs was picked up for an independent film.
Yeah.
It was even. I mean, I guess yours was kind of nice compared to the one that they gave me.
Oh yeah.
But it was still kind of one of those things where you're like, okay, now that I'm signing a contract, I have to get a lawyer, dude, because this shit I can't even understand this.
I remember
shit.
you did this in a previous podcast. You were talking about it. I remember it. Yeah.
And that's kind of how I felt a little bit about the contract. It's like, hold on, I'm trying to join a band, and I'm gonna be hit with this contract. Fuck, I don't even understand half this shit. I'm going to have to go hire a lawyer to tell me and break this shit down for me. I don't know. I think I'm stepping back. Unless it was like Metallica and you're like, all right, well, I'm going to get like 1.2 mil. Okay, I guess I'll hire the lawyer and have him take a look at it, adjust maybe a couple of things so I get, green M&Ms when I get into my room or whatever, whatever the situation might be. Yeah. Another thing too, I guess, is that you're going to get to a certain level where the contract might be needed. So I understand that that's maybe where you guys are at, that you're like, you know what, at this point, we've been playing for 6 years or however long you've been playing, and we need to reevaluate, and I need to take this step, and this is what I need to make my business work. And I think that that's essentially what everyone needs to ask themselves, because you're getting into a business with that other individual. Is that the type of business you want to run? Are you happy with whatever the contract says? Or not, and I think that that's something that you have to evaluate whenever you sign the contract, but it was just interesting to read it, I guess.
Yeah, of course. And I already prepared myself for it. I already knew you were going to somebody was going to bring it up. But the reason why it is that way is because there is such a thing as too much democracy. And it split up bands like Fishbone and completely only left 2 band members left in there that are original at the moment. They don't come to agreements on certain things. So if there's nothing written on paper, there is no, I don't feel like there's no middle ground. And everybody, again, can do whatever they feel, however they like, do whenever they want. And then at the end, feel still entitled to ownership of the group. I was slapped with about a 14, 15-page contract when certain members left this band after the LA TV show.
What?
Yeah, I was slapped with a 14-page contract. I was sat on this chair. I was driven. As in the
hold on. Who gave you the contract?
Who gave you the contract?
I'm not gonna say. It was one of the old members.
They
slapped me with a contract, a 14-page contract. They came, he picked me up, sat me in the front. His dad was in the back, like mafia style, brother. Here, read it. And I'm reading this, and I'm just can't believe that the things that are coming out of this thing. I'm so overwhelmed. And I'm just like, these are my songs. Like, I wrote these songs. What are they talking about?
I see, okay.
I guess that's the perspective I'm looking at it, because I write music as well. And it's like, if I were to go into a band and I wrote the songs and I wrote the guitar, like, why the hell would I give you the songs that I wrote? I guess that's the perspective that I'm looking at.
And look at it this way, too. Not only that, I was expected to read it as we were driving to the Notary Public.
Dude, right there, I would say we're not driving anywhere, fool.
Exactly.
And what I wanted to say when I went blank was, we wrote this, we drafted this thing maybe 2 to maybe 4 times at most. And every time we sat down with every member, we read it through, as boring as it was, because it's a long agreement.
But then at that point, you basically tell the guy, listen, man, I'm not going to read this thing. Or give me a copy, and I'm gonna hire an entertainment lawyer.
I didn't do it. It got really ugly with the member, but I'm talking about.
I'm sure it did, because once you bring stuff like that, it's like all hell is loose.
So that was also one of the reasons why. That was also one of the reasons why it is that we had to bring the agreement. The agreement was put in place because of that learning experience. That was definitely one of the most traumatizing experiences I ever had with a contract. Slapped on me.
Let me tell you something, though. One thing, too, is that I guess that's when you really find out if those are the people you want to be in business with anyways.
Exactly.
Because if they're willing to shove a fat one up that, because, that's really what it is.
They were ready to.
If they're doing that, then that's somebody I don't want to be in business with. Like, you know what, bro? This is where our our road ends
That's
here.
very interesting, though, man. Like, these people came up. One of the ex-members came up because prior to this, when we started
We're
the
cool
podcast,
now.
no,
We're
but
completely cool,
no,
but
it's
just
no, it's all
putting it
right
out
though. I
there.
mean, like how things just change, because didn't you say it was just you on the bus that went to this competition?
It was me and one of the ex-guitarists we just actually kicked out like a little not too long ago. We had to kick one out, actually, unfortunately.
You know what? This story starting to sound like Los Bookies, dude.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? If they get in our way, we don't stop. We have to keep going. And that's the mentality that you got to have. Keep going. Keep
It's very
moving.
interesting because I actually, not too long ago, I'm not going to mention the name of the band, but I had a conversation, with them, and it's like, what's your direction? Where are you guys going now? And it was more like they're kind of stuck because one individual member. And I said, well, don't mean to sound like a dig, but I mean, you have a lot of, you have potential, you have something going on, and if this individual is stopping you, get somebody else and move on. I mean, because why are you going to stop? And
there's a lot of time and effort and
it's
money,
like,
blood, sweat, tears invested.
and they've done pretty good for themselves in the past, but I actually kind of hate to see them just completely going down at this
It
moment.
happens every day, my brother. It happens every day. And the reason why is because they don't have a solid foundation. I've had 10 years of experience since I started this. And I've been in countless bands that have broken up over the biggest dumbass reasons.
He
why.
took my girlfriend, man.
Yeah. No,
Well, that's pretty serious, fool. That's straight up fighting words right there.
But going back to the question where he wouldn't sign the agreement that is in place right now with my members, with the members of Los Despiertos, is that we went countless times and revised it at least 2 to 3 times. Over probably 6 times until everybody was happy. And the way they noticed that we actually took everything they said into account, rewrote it so that everybody's comfortable with it and knows that everybody's good. As long as you do your job, you don't have to be afraid of getting fired or kicked out. And don't worry, because this thing protects everybody in a sense that I'm not king. It's not a totalitarian monarchy.
But,
I am also. I can't just make a decision and go, hey, you know what? I don't like you. Get out. I can't do that. Everybody has to be unanimous in the voting out of a member, and also it has to be unanimous in putting in a member and actually getting a member in. But we read it thing like 20 times again and again, so everybody was happy. Everybody signed, and that's the reason why we did this is also too, we want to be transparent. Transparency is so often missing in early startup bands. In any business as a startup, something shady is going on, you know it right off the bat. This whole thing is transparent. Everybody gets copies of all the calendars. Everybody gets copy of the checklist. The agreements everybody gets copies of everything, from receipts to merch logging.
That's
sheets.
very pro, man. That's really
Merchandise purchase log, which is all my lady Veronica. She's the one that's on the contract as the accountant, and she's the one that devises all the song lists, what we need to learn. I mean, she does all the letters when it comes to kicking somebody out of the band, which is I'm passing it to you right now, and also too looking for sponsorships from companies. We have to be able to do our homework and actually come up with a business plan. We can't expect people to devote 5,000, 10,000, 15, 20,000 if we can't go and say, look, we can get you a demographic. We're going to sell you by advertising you on our shows. You want us because we're cool. We could provide this service for you. Hook us up. Close. Whatever you can afford. If you can do money, you can put us on a tour, on Warped Tour. That's how it works. You got to buy into tours. All of this stuff, you have to be able to research it. And this is why I appreciate this show, because a lot of people are coming on and talking about this stuff. And before, honestly, everybody's just kind of grasping it and kind of just like hogging all the promoters and all the gigs and the places where
Contact
you can
numbers.
Nobody wants to be able to share anything, and that's the biggest problem we have now in every scene, not just Latinos. It's every scene. We need to be able to communicate, build. We're all in it together. There's plenty for everybody. There's no reason
I mean,
why.
es una cosa que he dicho, y te lo he dicho a ti antes, si estamos peleando por pennies.
Por pennies.
Well, you know what,
You know.
dude? Te voy a decir algo que nos ha ha pasado en ciertas situaciones donde le digo al compa, hey, ¿sabes qué? No nos van a pagar. Ok. Y luego miran el flyer y dicen que van a cobrar $5. Y dice, oh, no, yo quiero que me paguen porque está ahí en el flyer allí. Le digo, ¿sabes qué? Ponte a pensar, dude, ¿cuánto dinero posiblemente van a meter? Ponle que agarren $100, ¿ok? Si agarran los $100, hay 4 bandas. Nos va a tocar que, si haces las matemáticas, después de que saquen lo que gastaron para los flyers, $10, ¿te vas a sentar aquí y pelear sobre si es $10 de que nos den? I mean, don't be stupid, dude. I mean, like,
Exactly, yeah.
it's stupid to fight over, pennies instead of thinking like, oh, posiblemente nos podemos agarrar, vender mercancía allí, sacar $200 de vender nuestras camisetas, los CDs, porque esos otros grupos están trayendo a nuevos fans al concierto. Y muchas cosas y muchos ángulos así no miran muchos de los miembros. Puedo entender cómo tienes la situación con el contrato, porque sí, me ha pasado a mí también, pero como te digo, yo no firmaría el contrato porque como yo soy escritor y el vocalista, para mí no trabajaría esa situación, pero
Sí.
también puedo entender, hay muchos ángulos en esas situaciones de los contratos.
Ajá.
Y como te digo, fue una cosa similar, se me hace, con los bookies, y por eso
Sí.
se fue
Ajá.
el bookie.
Yeah. Ha tenido la oportunidad de tener Dina LaPolt, who's an Esquire, who's lawyers to Baby Bash, Aerosmith. I mean, everybody in Tupac Shakur's estate. She put me under her wing like about a year and a half ago and let me take one of her classes for free. It was a UCLA extension, business extension thing. I had no idea about this stuff. The person who pushed me to be heavily about music business is actually, her name is Julie Pilot, who is the PD, used to be the PD for Kiss FM, which is one of the biggest stations. And also, too, now is the main La Mera Mera at 98.7 FM. And she's always, for my birthday, I think my 18th birthday, she bought me Everything There Is to Know About Music Business book by Robert something.
Yeah,
I forgot what
seen
it
that.
is. But she told me, this is what I want for you. You need to be able to
That's
handle
very
your
cool, man.
business. And after that, she introduced me through opportunities to Dina LaPolt, who, again, she's a lawyer to like the biggest artists right now. Film, acting, everything. But music is her, her forte. And I went and I started learning all these things. I started meeting all these individuals. And it's crazy to think how one little thing can throw everything off. And yes, it's all about pennies, but those pennies add up. Those pennies add up to millions of dollars, and everybody's trying to get at you. You need to be able to sit down with a straight face, separate friendship from business, everything else from there's a thin line between pleasure and business.
But there's a lot
no
of emotion
feelings.
in music.
There's
There's a lot of
there's no
emotion.
feelings and emotions, dude, when it comes to business.
But you
it's
need
just
to
either
be
black and white.
But the biggest ones are cutthroat, business like. You have to be like, what's his face that you're fired? What's his name?
Donald Trump?
Donald Trump. You gotta be just as bad as that dude. Because you gotta go in there and be respectful. Be business respectful. But you also gotta be, hey, this isn't working for us. Like I have to be he's my business partner. Eddie's my business partner. I gotta be able to be talking to him and not have to get it out of hand. He should be able to come to me as the singer, songwriter, and also part of his member, a business partner, and also the manager, of the band, and be able to tell me, Carlos, I don't agree with what you're doing, brother. What's going on? And I have to be able to be psychologist. And work these things out. I can't just assume. And of course, sometimes the anger gets to you. We all lose our ego is really strong in a lot of us. And that's why I suggest people reading books like A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. Another book, too, is The Artist's Way, which is another book that I've been reading. And it talks about spiritual stuff, ego, the way of thinking, our mind as a collective. And it gets really trippy. But man, you start reading that thing and it starts making more sense than anything's ever made sense in your life. And you start realizing that we as individuals are so caught up in everything. We block ourselves out from the most important things, and we surround ourselves in nothing but petty shit. There's no reason for it. You know what I'm saying?
Algo que trae esto mucho a la mente es algo que mucha de la gente o muchos de los artistas no hacemos. Es exactamente lo que estás diciendo tú. No nos educamos. Porque decimos nosotros somos artistas. A mí me gusta tocar mi guitarra, me gusta escribir música. Pero si de veras lo quieres hacer como una carrera, tienes que educarte Y si tienes que pagar dinero para los libros, tienes que pagar dinero para los cursos, es lo que tienes que hacer porque ese es tu negocio. Eso es lo que tú
No,
quieres
es
hacer
una inversión
profesionalmente.
y definitivamente la clase de que tú hablas de UCLA, yo la iba a tomar hace 3-4 años, creo.
Pero se
She was
cansó,
teaching
se
it
cansó
then
el güey,
too.
se cansó.
She was teaching it then
It's,
too.
I think it's like a $500 class or $700, right?
It's anywhere from $300 to $500, yeah.
Yeah.
Pero ¿sabes qué?
I got it for free.
That's awesome.
Those are
dude.
opportunities. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
eso es-
talking about when it comes to
Pero,
networking.
I mean, pero a la
Network.
Pero a la misma vez cuando piensas, ok, $300, $500 no es mucho por lo que vas a
Mira,
aprender.
Una
aprender.
cosa también que muchos de nosotros de músicos no ponemos atención es de que cuando una persona va a estudiar de su carrera y se quiere ser, ponle abogado, gastan $150,000 en ser abogados para sacar su educación en esa carrera. Como músicos, por alguna razón creemos que no debemos de invertir dinero en nuestra educación.
You know
Y-
why?
¿Por qué?
You know why? I actually get that question a lot because everybody thinks that they're going to be. Everybody has that mentality when people used to go to the Sunset Strip, and A&Rs would go and check out the bands and like, hey,
Pero
I
esos
like
días ya
you.
pasaron, man,
But they
ya.
still have that mentality. They still have that.
Ahorita se me hace que la forma que todos necesitamos que mirar esto es de que nosotros somos las disqueras. Como nosotros como grupo, nosotros somos nuestra propia disquera y exactamente lo que ellos están haciendo tenemos que hacer nosotros. We have to do artist development on our own. We have to do promotions on our own. We have to do contracts for the bands on our own. You have to do merchandising on your own.
You have to do
So-
the
public-
PR. You
yeah,
have to
publicity.
be your own PR nowadays.
Yeah.
But
you
then
got to
too-
hire a publicist.
But then too, this is one key thing that I've noticed you guys were talking about and bringing up to the light all the time, is you have to be able to know when you have to hire the professionals. There's a lot
Yeah.
of talented people like Rick Perez, who designed their logo and also designed Hector's logo for his
Yeah.
band. And you have to be
He's
able,
basically done all my
and
inter-
Interrock too, right?
Yeah.
And this guy is super talented. There's a lot of people who are super talented that you can hire for probably $50 or less, and you never know unless you talk. You have to be able, again, networking, red carpets, any situation that you can get, you have to utilize. If you're not getting paid for it, hey, make it worth your while going to talk to that random dude that looked like he has some money or has some knowledge.
Pero it just being in all these places will surprise the shit out of you who's actually watching you, dude. Because I went to New York to a conference over there, the LAMC, and I came back and I was at one of the shows with Christian, and at this time I didn't know Christian that well, but I was at one of his shows, and I would always go to see bands to see how they perform to better myself. And when I was there, this guy comes up to me and he's like, "Dude, I've seen you somewhere. So I saw you in New York." Can you believe this shit, dude? I'm in Anaheim, and this guy remembers me from New York. So people are watching, dude. People know, like, they recognize your face. They recognize you. So even if they don't know your name, they saw you walking over there. And, I mean, you know, that, what do they say? You know, out of sight, out of mind. Or
Yeah,
so you
yeah.
got to make sure you're seen, that you go to concerts, that you go to places. So people can't ignore you because you're right in their face, you know?
Big shout out to Jorge Gonzalez that was on your radio show. We're actually recording our first EP with
How's
him
that
right
coming
now.
along, man?
It's going awesome. This guy is like, honestly, heaven sent, man. So gracias a él y Extrema Studios for allowing us to be able to record there. I mean, it's been a pleasant experience, even for Eddie, right?
What do you mean, even
sir.
for Eddie?
He had to set up the drum set, and that was very time consuming, but he made it a breeze, honestly. So Jorge Gonzalez, brother, vamos a terminar nuestro disco pronto. So shout out to him. You have to be able to build a team. That's one of the most important things. You have to build a team with your family, with your friends. You got to get like a street team going. Without that support, that backbone, you won't be able to be as productive.
How did that come up? How did that start it out? Because I know earlier you have mentioned your wife being part of it.
Yeah, and so
how did that? How did that?
Fiance. Oh, I'm sorry.
How did she get involved
Eddie's
into
fiance.
it?
She's not married yet.
How was that she get involved into it? Like, you know, to
Yeah.
assist on that, because most women. I mean, I have a very supportive wife also.
Yeah.
That she allows me to do it, pretty much anything.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, we
But-
require everybody who is part of the family or friends or whoever to be a part of our group of people who help us, our backbone. We require it. We need it. There's no way without it. I just wanted to bring that to the light. Again, I don't want to really get in deep. I have a lot to cover. Is that all right if I move on? But I just wanted to bring that to the light. As far as that, just keep that in mind. Build your team. Leo Machado was one of them that said, dude, you got it made. You got like 3 camera girls. You got them working the whole people, getting likes on Facebook. They're on it, but only because they have direction and because they want to see us succeed. Necesitan un equipo que hagan lo que personas normales no estuvieran dispuestos a hacer.
Pero esto fue a la misma vez que tú planeaste y que dijiste, ok, esto va a ser parte de mi plan de 3, 6 meses. En un año, esto es lo que quiero this is what I want to achieve, right?
Yeah, of course.
It's part of your like
It
3,
has
6
to.
month plan, right?
Of course. It has to.
And you look for these people. And I think this is one of the things that some bands don't get to do that. I mean, like I even addressed this to, Hector, get a 6-month plan. Find your direction. It's a guidance.
Of course. Right now we have shows, like we have a lot of shows to promote. We have actually Tengo Talento. We made it to Cuarto de Finales on reality show Tengo Talento on Channel 62.
Saw that, man.
Estrella TV. We're battling for $100,000 right now.
Wow.
So we're filming that this October 5th, which is this Friday, at the Burbank Studios for Estrella TV. We also got this Cicla Via Bicycle Festival October 7th, which is another free event. Both the Tengo Talento and that one's a free event at the Boa Heights Farmers Market, Mariachi Plaza in Boa Heights. Also, too, we got our Halloween House of the Dead show at the Airliner. It's $4 at the door. Bring your costumes, please. And
What day is that?
That day is.
Is it on Halloween?
That's the 11th. That's the 11th,
Oh, the 11th?
of
Okay.
October. So thank you for covering that. I should have said that. But yeah, that's the 11th at the Airliner. We got Raza Fest, which is the 14th, Sunday, at the Mariachi Boa Heights Farmers Market, which is another free event. There's going to be a lot of bands. We got Mexico 68, Rudo Movimiento from the IE. They're coming all the way from there, and they're like really, really great bands, so check them out. We're also one of the headlining acts. And Johnny Walls as well. He's the one putting it together. We also have our Fun City 3rd Annual Ska Halloween Party, which is brought to you by Club 81 Entertainment. And Mario 81 presents us Los Despiertos, and we're going to be recording our first live EP that night. We're not getting paid, but we're getting paid with a live EP. There's opportunities everywhere, guys. Try to get it wherever you can.
Well, one thing real quick, if somebody wants to buy your merchandise and buy your songs, where can they go to get your stuff?
As of right now, we have free downloads off of Reverb Nation, and you can go to www.losdespiertosmusic.com, losdespiertosmusic.com, and download all our tracks for free. They're somewhat, we're working right now, working with a professional studio, and we're going to get those out.
Se oyen chingones, ya los
Se
escuché.
oyen
bien.
chingones, pero son gratis, o que no lloren, por favor. Que no me vengan a llorar. They're free downloads. Go to, again, www.losdespiertosmusic.com.
¿Tienen ahorita su sitio de internet o están trabajando en eso ahorita?
We're actually working on that right now. And I wanted to mention that. Is it wix.com, babe? Wix.com. They provide a free website. And all you have to do is go to GoDaddy.com and buy yourself a domain name. Forward that domain name to the website that's
hosting?
running.
To the server, to the hosting.
Yeah, to the hosting. And then, bam, you got your free website with just $20 that you just spent. It's really easy to upload photos. There's no reason why bands can't do it nowadays. There's a lot of things that are disposable.
Yeah, you see, I totally hate the fact that everybody uses Facebook or MySpace, all these other social medias. It's cool, but your website is your home. Mm-hmm. It's your permanent address. You need to direct traffic there.
Of course.
Facebook is already have millions of people.
Yeah.
Déjalo que termine, que ya.
The Fun City 3rd Annual Ska Halloween with us recording our live EP is on the 19th of October. So don't miss it. It's $5 with costumes. So bring your costumes. Y si no, pues están muy feos, pues ahí pueden entrar casi gratis. No hay problema ahí. We're also just got invited to the LGBT Age Gala Award Ceremony for October 25th. We're still in the middle of processing. We're going to, it's a really good event. Honorees include Dio Uveres from, who is the executive producer of Univision, Channel 34, and Telefutura, which is going to be a very big opportunity for us to go and talk to. Hector Silva, who's a 25-year artist, is going to be honored. Elaida Acosta, who's the owner of Coco Bangos, and Erica Vidrio, who's the president of a nonprofit called Tina Amor. And they just asked us to be a part of that. And, It's a great opportunity. Just some of the most influential people are going to be there. It's $50 to go in, but it's because you're going to be able to mingle with the top of the Latino community right now. And again, it's the LGBTH Gala and Awards Ceremony.
So is that taking place?
That's taking place. And I actually got that. That's taking place at Tarasco's Mexican restaurant in Silver Lake on Sunset Boulevard. Okay. So nice. That's a big gigantic opportunity we just got, and we thank the people from LGBTH for allowing for even considering us. So
all right, well, we have to close out the podcast here, and thank you once again. Thanks, guys, Los Despiertos, por estar aquí con nosotros este día. Si nos dejarían tocar una de sus canciones al fin del podcast aquí, ¿cuál canción quisieran que tocáramos?
We have El Desierto. It's a recording that we did last year.
Bueno, vamos a salir este podcast aquí con una canción de Los Despiertos que se llama El Desierto, y recuerden, si los pueden visitar en Reverb Nation, y allí pueden encontrar esa canción.
www.losdespiertosmusic.com, and they could download our music off of that link. Okay. It goes right to our Reverb Nation. For right now, we're building our website.
Nice. All right, bueno, muchísimas gracias una vez más, y que todos tengan una buena noche.
Las vueltas, estoy confundido, pero más perdido yo quedé. Ando mareado de estar a tu lado, pero no hace caso que un día volveré. Dime la verdad y salvaré tu vida, pero no tienes valor ni el color de sangre para mi heresidad. Pero tú me dices que llamo en el desierto, para creer, para saber, para merecer tu mentira. Pero tú me dices que llamo en el desierto, para tomar, para tragar, para apreciar mi vida. Tramposa y la más mentirosa. Eres una vampira y solo chupas mi vida. Eres sensual y jugosa. No eres gran cosa ni material para esposa.